Welcome back to Monkey See, Monkey Do. On the couch today, Matty D, you back?
Back again? How are you?
Back good, mate. The last time that we put some questions out, we had a bunch asking kind of why we're doing this and why, like, how do we get to this point in our lives? So I feel like we should just start off with that. We're not joined by Chizzy today. He is busy. Kid's got a fuck ton on and a lot going on at the minute, so we're just taking a little break.
Yeah. Heaps of people just like, what the fuck are you guys doing? You used to be cool.
Why are you doing it? Yeah, I wish you didn't say the things you said.
I hate you now.
Yeah, I thought you were better. So I know that I had someone ask, like, how I ended up in Australia. And it was actually a question from someone who used to serve coffee from Matea. So I guess long story short, I went through a breakup with an ex-partner, and I didn't want, like, I realized very quickly that I went straight back into doing the Monday to Friday work, get really pissed up on Friday evening, Saturday evening, Sunday be hungover, and start work again. This just was on repeat. And I realized that if I don't escape that, it's going to be the same thing over and over and over again until I find someone new or die, because that was just like what everyone else was doing. And the thought of it just, oh my God, it felt like I'd been poisoned once I realized it. I just felt like sick. I needed to get out.
You realized you were a massive chav and you needed to...
A chav?
Chav?
Chav. A chav, yes. I realized that, and I needed to start a new identity where I could be anyone I wanted, where no one knew that I used to rap.
I was going to bring it up.
Fucking knew it as well. If you end up on a real deep dive on my page, you end up seeing a video where my alias was Drifter. So you are welcome, world.
What are the name of those kids that get around now with like the bum bags and the scooters?
Oh, so they are Eshays.
Eshays.
So they are chavs. Like, they're exactly the same as what chavs are in England. And if you Google Eshay if you're in the UK, it's fucking, yeah. They got the side bags. So I had those. And what's crazy, I had this, like, I was meditating one night, and I'm not one of these guys that do it often. I try and do it sometimes when everything's just a bit too loud. And I meditated when I was still in England, and, like, I woke up from I say woke up, like, I opened my eyes from meditation, and, like, because it was dark, all of a sudden, like, the room seemed like so much smaller, and I felt like fucking Tom Hanks, like, from Big. I just felt way too big for the room. Like, I'd outgrown my bed and the room and everything. And like,
the voice came from above and it said, "G'day, Cobber, have I got a place for you?"
Yeah, literally. So, so the guy I was working with at the time, Jake, rest his soul, he passed away a couple of years ago now. He was like, dude, I had the best time in Australia. You need to go check it out. My uncle had also been to Australia. I have family in here as well. So it was like a no-brainer. So I said to a bunch of friends, like, I'm booking the flight as soon as possible and I'm going. I had a friend join me as well over here, so Georgia. So she came with me as well. And the only reason I ended up in Mandurah by pure chance is I had a couple of friends who were doing the exact same thing over here anyway. So I ended up in Mandurah, started working at Cobblers, and then, I met Caitlin as well, so that was a big factor in staying. But how I ended up here was literally through a breakup and realizing that I didn't want to be the same person as I was in that moment again. And I think since being here as well, I've definitely had my own like mental health kind of journey and discovering who I am and finding out who I can truly be.
I'm a surfer now.
I'm a surfer dude. I'm a terrible surfer dude, but I do it nonetheless. But no, I realized that, like, this version of myself was just 1,000 times better than anything I could have been while still living in the UK. So that's me anyway.
Yeah.
In a nutshell. How about you, mate?
What about me?
What about you?
Prompt me.
Prompt you. Give me a brief rundown on who you are and how you ended up here on this couch today.
Couldn't fit that in half an hour. Talk too much.
I said breathe. Did you hear that?
A brief history of Matt.
I wrote a book.
Well, we met at Matea.
Mm-hmm.
You were making coffee, and somehow we got chatting, and it turns out we were both brewing beer.
Both brewing stouts.
Both brewing stouts, favourite beer. And we did a beer swap. And your one was good and my one was pretty average. But we got
I
chatting.
liked yours, dude.
Yeah?
I thought it was good.
Yeah, it's like, I reckon it's the expired cacao powder I put in it, to be honest. It's like, I'll
Yeah.
just chuck some of this in.
Really gave it some flavour. Yeah.
Let's see how it goes.
Expired cacao and rat poison. This is the key for a stout.
It just gets that little bit of like the dryness in it. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm poisoned or I'm drunk. Like, it's perfect.
And then we ran into you, because I used to surf Fourth Groin all the time. And you started fishing out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we moved like literally just close by.
Had you only just moved then?
Yeah, the only reason I started fishing at that spot is because we moved to this house.
Yeah.
So it was like, I have to, given where I was, and like, I was like, I know where I came from. I live in this house that's like, 30 meters from sand? Like, and I was like, I have to.
My house is 5 meters from sand, except it used to be my front lawn.
Yeah, well, if I count the parking bit over there where I park, so I guess like 30, 40 meters from the beachfront, and I was like, I have to make the most of this lifestyle. Like, we're only renting this house; it's not going to last forever. Like, I need to make the most of this. I don't know when I'd ever get it again. So I was like, all right, well, we're going to go fishing. I used to get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning and fish, and then I'd see the surfers get out. And yeah, I was fishing on the groin that time and saw you paddling out. Were you kids, right?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to surf there a fair bit with the kids. Still do. But yeah, then I think you stole one of my surfboards for a year, and
Yeah, I borrowed it.
you got keener than any of us.
Yeah, I borrowed it. It's just a funny story. I think I did borrow that, but it's in the garage now. I borrowed it again.
That board has seen some life though. That was my brother's board.
Yeah.
Years ago, and that was my first sort of longish board.
I've been so hurt on that board. Like, it's hit me so many times, but it's just glorious. It's just I have a thing for it as well, like, because I learned most of what I know on it. Yeah. So saw you out there. We ended up getting talking. I said to you, like, it looks amazing. Like, just surfing just seems like a great thing that I'd never even considered. I was like, 27 at the time. So how long have I been surfing? Just over 3 years. Yeah. So 27. And yeah.
And here you are.
And then you had a massive change of things happen in a short period of time.
I went through a divorce.
Yeah.
So I suddenly had a lot more time on my hands. I spent a lot more time down at Fourth Groin, probably drinking, watching sunsets go down, and
Well, that was
the boys and girls, and
that was the summer that I learned to like, and that for me that was like such an entry into what surfing community is. It was just wicked. It was like every evening in the summer, like there'd be beers up top, like trading stories, like, and that's what I imagined for this podcast. I was like, some people don't have that luxury of what I experienced in that first summer of learning to surf, like just making new friends, talking about whatever on the water. I don't know what it is about the ocean, but it just helps you like spill the beans of what's going on.
That was a wild year. That was we had that big crew of like people that were always down at the beach. Like, we'd all do sundowners.
Yep.
A lot of nights.
And it was just,
we'd go out and
it was lovely.
Party together. We'd have like, my house became like a drop-in center as well. Like, we'd have like games nights and jam nights. And,
I don't know why I ever suggested just moving
nights.
here. Yeah. We should do one of those soon. Before we move out of this house, we should have a surf movie night.
Surf movie night.
Yeah.
It's on. Definitely.
Put the TV down here. All the seats around, like these couches.
Get all the crew
That would be
in.
sick. Yeah, it'd be dope.
That's when I started working in the cafe as well. So that kind of expanded my social life pretty dramatically at the time as well. But yeah, it was crazy times. I don't think I was sleeping very much.
No, because we recorded on my previous podcast, an Oasis project. We recorded well till like 2 a.m. I think it was, because we recorded, which was like 2 hours long. We continued drinking after that, and then you had work at like 5:30. And did you skate home that night?
Probably. Yeah. yeah. Did drive.
Yeah, skate home and then start work. Yeah. But so to answer, I actually can't remember who sent that through. They sent it to the Monkey See, Monkey Do Instagram page, and they were like, "What? How are you both here, and why are you doing it?" So for the reason I sat down with you that time and had a drink and was like, "Hey, I want to do this podcast," was just so people could feel like they have a seat on this couch with us. Like there's 4 seats. There's only ever 3 of us recording. Like I just hope that someone who's ever just needs a mate or someone just to talk shit with, like we've got a beer now, like crack a beer and just picture yourself sitting on the couch and talking some shit.
Come talk shit with us.
Yeah, literally.
We'll try and prize your like deepest, darkest stories out of you for a laugh.
Yeah. No, for real though, if anyone's listening and you are local, like just hit us up if you want to come and record one day and just talk some shit. Like we're super keen. I know I am anyway. PhDs and talking shit.
come tell some stories so I don't spill mine.
Yes, yeah, so we don't seem so alone. But yeah, so speaking of stories, now we've done like the nice part. Before we get into the stories, I do want to ask you a serious question because it was another question that was asked on the Instagram page.
What's that?
And it was Luke Brand, and he asked he asked us a very serious question, and he said, why do we think that youth mental health is declining rapidly?
Social media.
So I had a few ideas on this, and I don't know how you feel about it, having kids of your own. So do you have any thoughts on it?
My brother is he's just finished up.
Matt, go closer to the mic.
After years. Come to the mic.
Come to the mic, he said. Sorry.
My brother's he's a high school teacher.
Yep.
And he was getting up quite high up. He was the head of department. He's very good at it. And I remember him saying to me once with kids and mental health, it's back in our days, how old we're going to sound. We might have caught the end of like the beginning of Facebook when we were finishing high school.
Yep.
Whereas these kids, there's social media everywhere. You got your Snapchat, your Facebook, Instagram, TikTok now.
Yeah.
But we'd go to school between 8:30, 9 o'clock, and 3 o'clock in the arvo. Then you go home, and the bullying stops. Yeah. If you're getting bullied, it's not coming at you. It's like these kids are opening their Instagram and stuff, and there's messages from these other kids, or there's like memes set up in their like their image and things like that. Like I see that as this kind of unrelenting. There's no getting away from it it's now.
Constantly there. Yeah. Whereas
I suppose I came from a simpler time when you went home and you could avoid any bullying issues you might have had at school. Like it starts again the next day, but it's not a constant.
Well, that is definitely one, and I feel like having someone say something, we'll just take fat, for example, as just what I'll say for this example. Having someone say you're fat at school for that amount of time is obviously problematic. But then you go home, as you said, you get that break. But if someone's like saying, I shared something today actually about like that voice inside your head, that negative voice was put there by other people.
Yeah,
and I suppose... Yeah, Gary Vaynerchuk, dude. I watched so much of his stuff, and I just think he's like just a positivity, like a positive.
Gary V.
Yeah, Gary V. Yeah,
yeah. I used to listen to all his podcasts, especially when I had my own business.
Dude, listen to him all the time. I think he's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And like just someone who spreads like positivity and love for another human. But going back to what I was saying, I think it's creating that voice in your mind because, well, actually, in saying that. I still have insecurities about my image, and that wasn't through social media. That was through it's weird the things that stick with you, and I think some people are more susceptible. But I definitely think my mental health declined the more I valued opinions in the virtual realm than I did in the real world. So if you I have a period on my Instagram, my personal Instagram, and if you look at it, it's probably a year or so where I post nothing but gym videos and pictures of my physicality. And that was probably the darkest times of my life with my mental health. And that was because what I was doing was I was negating everything that was beautiful in my life in Australia, and I was only focusing on what people would say to me, like instant satisfaction. Like I needed people to tell me I was good rather than telling myself I was good.
Yep.
And relying on that external factor. And the long and short, which is to my point, because things are available 24/7, you're constantly And especially when you're young and you've got a young brain, like you're constantly looking at an external source of validation. Mm-hmm. And if it's available 24/7,
ruins marriages.
Yeah.
He goes dark.
Yeah. So, and I think that we forget in the midst of everything that social media can bring, and it does bring some positive as well. We forget to tell ourselves that we're great just because we can, and we expect other people to say that. So we rely on that. And when that doesn't come in, when you're not getting an external source that you're relying on to tell you, and you're not getting it from yourself, I feel like that's the start of the process where you're like, my life sucks, I'm struggling, and everything else. That was a bit of a ramble, but
I reckon I only found it for myself like 4 years ago. Like coming out of a relationship, but just realizing, just hitting a point where it's like, all right, I don't care what people think.
Yeah.
I want to be who I am. And I don't know, the more I found I was authentically me, the more people were like,
they resonate with you.
I met. Yeah. Like it's, anyone that knows me knows I like,
you're just you.
I say the craziest shit. I'm just me. I don't think there's too many people out there.
Yeah, I think
like me.
I think we've had this conversation before as well, where like I have it a lot about like anything. Like I just tell people everything about me now because
I overshare.
Because I don't want anything ever being people thinking that is something against me. And also, like, if I like the whole rap thing, which is why I mention it now, because there was a time in my life where I went back and deleted every single source of me that used to write rap or anything like that. And I deleted everything. So you would not find anything on my page. Like, and that was because I was just embarrassed about what I used to do. And like now I feel like if I just embrace it and I just tell people things that are embarrassing, things that are a joke, and I embrace it, like it doesn't hurt me anymore. Like it doesn't have power over me. I can just tell you because I tell you. Like the whole fucking like story on my 30th birthday on the last podcast. Like I tell people that because I don't want things to hold power over me anymore. I just want to be my own person. I'm only recently discovering who I am and being okay with exactly who I am and what I am. And that's a new thing for me, probably in the last couple of years. And do
you think it comes with age or experience?
I think experience for one. Age definitely, because like how long do you, like for me, I was just exhausted of always thinking I fucking suck or like I'm not good enough, or like mine was physical appearance. That was always my insecurity, right? So hence the gym and everything else. Like I remember I even did steroids for a little bit as well, like just because I just didn't feel like good enough.
Yep. And
I do think like at a point you just got to go, fuck, why am I beating myself up every single day? Like everyone, like you speak to so many people who are going through mental health. It's like, fuck, you're beating yourself up, you're beating you up, I'm beating me up. Like, what's the fucking point? Like, what is the point? It's exhausting. Even talking about it now is exhausting. Like, so it's like, yeah, I feel like once you're capable of looking at what gets you down and you're able to, I lost my train of thought. And you're able to.
Your fiance walks in, you're just like, oh.
Yeah. Had to look at Caitlin. She looks fine. No, but you're able to look directly on what is the issue of what you're saying, what your inner voice is saying to yourself, and you go no more. And how you do that and embrace like those, like for example, like if you don't like your physical appearance, why don't you? Like what comments did people make along the way, and then embracing those, you know what I mean?
You know what? I use it as fuel. Like for me, it can be something that can precipitate change in me.
Yep.
Have you read Goggins? Have I discussed
David Goggins? Yeah. David Goggins.
Book, Can't Hurt Me.
Yeah.
He talks about it's like, like someone called him a fat fuck. And he like looked in the mirror, he's like, oh fuck, I've become a fat fuck. He didn't even realize, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you get like that sometimes, like you let it like let things slip a little bit.
Yep.
And you don't realize until someone says something. It's like, oh, actually, maybe they're right.
Yeah, and
like
you could get immediately
it's a push for me.
Yeah, and that's the difference in mentality, because you could look at that and get super offended and just be like, no. Or, I mean, there's not many people that will probably say those words to you, but like they mention something. And I feel like there was an example with I was watching a video the other day with Eminem. So there was a younger, less experienced producer that was working with him, and they said, I think your cadence and your flow is a little bit off. And so like immediately, apparently he was like, and this is all apparently, it was like, no, it's definitely not, like I'm me. And then afterwards, he got a call later on in the evening, like I've listened, I've checked it out, and I've been aware, and yeah, you're right. So I think if anyone, and that could be total bullshit, it could just be a fucking video on the internet and the producer just making up some shit. But I feel like taking that and using that example, it is like if someone says something and it has an adverse effect on you, maybe look at it. Maybe deep down you're thinking the same thing, but you're too afraid to say it or too afraid to change it. Oh, deep, thoughtful, man.
No, I think it's definitely a thing for me. Sometimes you can get your head up your own ass a little bit, and you don't even realize until somebody mentions something, and you have to stop and look at it without ego. Yeah, there was a saying, it was like, trust people to be themselves, and it was like, so I'll use this as an example. I've come to know that you are not necessarily on time, and for me, you did you not know that? Why is everybody looking at me?
But and so I could allow that to affect me and have power over me, or I could understand that's just you. Your priorities are your priorities, so I just need to allow it.
Yeah, and that's with that one.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. So for the longest of time, it would bug me, and I had to learn, like, and this is a new thing for me where you just like.
It's bugged a lot of people over the years, trust me.
And it's one of those things, like the lower your expectations for people, the happier you'll be, right? Because if you just allow people to be themselves and you be you, then what the fuck does it matter? Like I know one of my biggest flaws, I get irritated quickly, and I often just say things in a tone in which is like, all right, you need to back the fuck up. And I've definitely done it to you in the past. I've done it to a lot of people. And it's just something that once you look at it and you go, okay, I do this, now I have to work on that because I'm aware of it. That was a really long and kind of like windy answer to Luke's question, I think. Yeah, I hope that clears it up for you.
The takeaway from this is Matt is often late.
And Jason gets shirty at things.
It's a thing.
It is a thing.
It's a thing.
Well, they were two serious questions, and I think that you have a less serious, for the people who are still listening, topic.
Are we going to discuss the where I asked people to send in their nicknames for people they've dated?
Yeah.
How did that come up? I feel like I discussed it with someone the other day, and it's like, this would make, like, I wonder what other people...
Yep.
Like if other people do this.
So I'm going to, while you find that, I'm going to kind of describe what's going on. So Matt put out a question on his social media asking if you've ever had a random name saved in your phone from a hookup, and with a bit of context as well. And so obviously we're going to go a bit crude here, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know what answers are coming up. But so if you want to listen, keep listening. If not, then we understand. You've had your warning. There it is. So I'll give people an example just to start off this show, just as, you know, I fully embrace who I am and where I've been. I once had an experience with a lovely young lady, and I wasn't necessarily long in the act. It was over very quickly. And you know Snapchat?
Yep.
Yeah, you know, you can only send like...
It's over in 10 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, so I got called Snapchat for a little bit, which should give you some indication of where this conversation is going to go.
We're all young once.
We're all young. It's not our fault. Anyway, you got some examples for us?
All right, I think it's interesting that... All right, so people that know me know that I use nicknames. I feel like it protects the innocent.
Yep.
People don't get mixed up about where I'm going of an evening.
And you also don't have to you don't have to worry about maybe offending someone on their behalf. Like they'll never know.
Yeah, it's like no one knows who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I feel like mine is super unimaginative as well.
Yeah.
Like some of them relate to locations,
Jobs.
acts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Vocations.
Yeah.
Acts and vocations.
All right. So I don't know. I haven't heard any of these. So you've been waiting to tell me. So.
All right. I think the first one I got sent was this one, but all right. Here's the question I put out. So I put out on my Instagram. If I can like read it, it's not going to let me open it. All right. I said, we want to hear the most imaginative nicknames you've given someone you've seen or how they've earned it and how they've earned it. So people sent me in, they DM'd me.
Yep. And this is all going to be anonymous.
All anonymous. And the funny thing is there's only women that sent names in.
Yeah.
So I don't know if guys are doing this.
We discussed this briefly, and I feel like part of some bloke's mind, they'll be like, yeah, I'm the 10 out of 10. Yeah, I'm the 5-star. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I feel like girls talk.
Can you give me the
Caitlin's nodding away over there.
Yeah, we do have a guest that's not.
Actually, you know what? If there's any guys listening to this, you should all know that everyone you hook up with, girls talk and discuss amongst themselves. So the point is,
they have names.
Try and make it positive.
Yeah. Everyone knows.
Try your hardest.
All right, I'd like you to give me the name, and then I want to see if it's very, very obvious or not.
Okay, so this one. Now, this girl said, I've never not had a nickname for a guy I'm seeing. She affectionately dubbed her last boyfriend the bald prawn.
The bald prawn.
Oh.
Instantly, I'm thinking...
Caitlin just recoiled.
I don't know. For me, I'm like the bald prawn. That's got to be... I don't know. Do they struggle getting it up or something? Because I'm just thinking...
What?
Well, I'm thinking of like a curled prawn. Like that's what I'm thinking of. No? All right,
No,
maybe.
okay.
All right. That's 0.
So I've heard the prawn before. Like I've heard it's not a nice nickname for someone that it's what is it? Nice body but a head full of shit.
I didn't know that.
But all right, so she explains. We matched on Tinder which she quickly deleted after 7 hours. She couldn't remember what he looked like except for the fact that he had a memorable body and was very, very bold. So she pushed forward with the idea, great body, shit head, just like a prawn. And she said, in the end, boldness was just an endearing bonus. She says, now that we are no longer dating, I affectionately referred to him as Elmer Fudd.
What's up, Doc? Oh, okay, that's not where I thought I was going to go.
All right. I ended up, so I just screenshot a bunch of the replies, but that one's about me and I'm just going to leave it alone. This was actually, I had this girl under a nickname in my phone many years ago and she just replied. She's like, with her, the nickname I had her as in my phone.
Okay.
It's lovely, skilled young lady.
While we're on an interim, I think Caitlin will probably save me as like gay best friend when we first met because she thought I was gay and she thought there was nothing there. So
I wasn't so sure you were straight when I first met you too, man. I didn't care.
So I think this...
Your boss described you as the camp guy.
Yeah, the camp
she said
guy.
that. She's like, it's like, Jason, the camp one. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
Hey, barista, they're dime a dozen in Metro.
Yeah. And then Matt's like, oh, he's trying to give me stouts. What's he up to? No, look. Let me just segue into this real quick. I feel like because in the UK, when I used to be there, I don't know what it's like anymore, but I can only assume the same. Everything was based on physical appearance. So you take care of yourself. Like it's the rise of Geordie Shore and Katie Prices and all that kind of shit just enabled this thing in the UK where we value appearance. So that's what I grew up with.
But they're all cringe as fuck.
Yes. And it's not my fault that I'm a victim of this life where I was just like, keep my hair, well, not right now, but keep my hair neat, tidy, dress well. And so...
Me too.
Apart from the last episode where you fell asleep on the couch.
I was awake.
Just. and so yeah. So when I came to Australia, it was a very big culture change. Well, not culture change, but here it's like everyone's just like, I'm me. I'm dressing however I feel comfortable, and it was just, and I was the one who was trying to make myself look pretty all the time. So yeah. It's not my fault I'm pretty, okay? Oh my God, and I tut and use my hands so much. So like when I used to serve in hospitality, I'd be like, and I just did it then. And I do it on this podcast a lot. I tut. And what's funny is that it makes it really easy when editing because I'm like, oh yeah, I just tut it again. So now I know how to sync it up.
Yeah.
So I used to go like, hey guys, can I get anything for you? Like, and because my serving voice is very, very soft. So yeah. I understand, but that's what, now I'm here. We're together 7 years, so.
Wasn't judging.
Anyway, yes, another example.
Oh, all right. Now this is a pretty common one coming up is the red flag guy.
Red flag guy.
Now, and then another one sent in, or like, I think she had to laugh at it actually, but that was my nickname.
You're the red flag guy?
I remember like there was one girl like amongst her group of friends, I was red flag guy. And that was just the fact. There's 4 kids.
But why save that number? Is it like in emergencies only, or is it like?
Sorry?
Well, I don't. So, would you still have that number if you saw the red flags, or is it like, in case of emergencies, you can message the red flag guy and maybe see what he's doing?
I feel like it was like a semi-playful nickname.
Oh, okay.
Like it was. She was still visiting. Yeah. Like, I think it was more just it was a nickname that sort of said, don't take this guy as a serious relationship prospect.
Got it. Yeah.
Which I wasn't.
Yep. Fun only.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
Like, a good friend.
Is there have you got any really unique examples?
Of nicknames for me? Like No, like other ones coming out.
Yeah.
There's a few there. So this is actually the same girl as before with Elmer Fudd. She was dating an overly enthusiastic bicycle police officer.
Yep.
They called him Paul Blart.
Mall cop.
We've all worked with them. It's like they're out there. I used to call them Batmen. They were the guys like they used all their pay to like buy more pouches for their rig belt or the latest
utility belt
bit of kit that they like to show off. They're just They weren't there for the job. They were there to change the world.
Yeah.
And they were going to tell everybody about it.
Yeah. With 9 pouches on a utility belt.
Goodness.
Elmer Fudd.
Fucking drags.
Paul Mar.
There's some great ones. Oh, I forgot about these ones.
Oh my God, I'm excited.
All right. Pause. This young lady sent me some good ones.
Okay, sweet.
And some explanations.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so she says, I have so many code names.
Instantly, I think I know who this person is, but
I don't think you do.
Oh, I don't?
Nah.
I thought maybe, I'm not going to say the name, but someone we used to work with.
Nah,
No?
She didn't send me anything in.
Oh, I thought she would have. She had so many examples when I was like, of petty curses.
No, I feel like she saw me as, it's like, she was innocent in my eyes.
Got it. All right, let's go. I'm ready for some examples.
All right. Here's some great ones. All right. Dead dog guy. This is the best story. Dead dog guy. Pickle Rickle. Golden shower dude.
Oh my God. Pickle Rickle.
The felon. Pound cake. He was my favorite.
Oh God. See, we're
all right.
So we're just objects.
I feel like, all right, Pickle Rickle.
Pickle Rickle.
That's going to be pretty self-explanatory, right?
Always drunk.
Caitlin. Pickle Rickle. What do you reckon that means? Really?
Like, I was thinking like Rick and Morty, man. Like, wubba-dubba-dub-dub. Like, always drunk? No?
Nah, I suspect that's for a different reason. Let's leave that one alone.
Okay. All right. Well, in the UK, pickled means fucked up. Like, he's pickled.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
How big's a pickle?
Depends how long you pickle it for. Like a cornichon or what?
All right. Golden shower.
We're moving on.
Golden shower dude was pretty self-explanatory.
Yep.
The felon. I had to ask about the felon.
The felon.
So the girl with the felon was, she was dating this guy, and he'd like kind of disappear for work.
Right.
Every few months off to Darwin. And eventually, for one of these work trips to Darwin, he had to call her from prison and said, "I wasn't actually working in prison, working in Darwin. I was going to court appearances, and I've now been imprisoned."
Wait for me.
So he's the felon. Okay. I don't think she waited. Look, my favourite story out of that was dead dog guy.
Oh, please tell me.
Have I told you this story?
I think you have.
I feel like I might have shared it when she shared it because it was
primo.
It was.
Yeah.
This is pretty epic.
All right, let's go. I'm ready. Then you said dead dog guy and the cat's just fucking going crazy in the background.
This very attractive young woman has taken this guy, gone home with this guy after a night out. I think it's a night out sort of thing. And almost immediately after they get back, he's taken her to the small room he has in his house dedicated to his dog.
Okay, this is already odd.
Dude cares about his dog, passed away dog. So it's like he's got a room full of
like a shrine.
Like a shrine. Like it's like there was like photos. I think there was like paw prints. I think there was like plaster casts of the dog's paws.
I understand. Like I'm not joking about like losing a dog because I get that's upsetting, but this is
I feel like
as a hookup. If you have that room, fine. But as a hookup, like you don't need to take a hookup there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that doesn't sound that bad to me.
It's because you're chill.
Yeah. Where I would have backed the fuck up was the centerpiece of the room. Was
it stuffed?
The dog.
Oh, no.
The dog stuffed in the center of the room. God. The taxidermy dog. I hope this guy doesn't listen to this podcast. I'm sure he won't. But because that's pretty niche, actually. Like,
yeah. But all right, fine. We'll say it here now. Like, we're not judging and everything else. We're just here for a giggle. All right.
That's
heavy.
It's I don't know. It's some horror movie shit. I'm pretty sure she backed the fuck.
Yeah, it's quite scary. Quickly. Yeah. While we're on this kind of topic, I'll tell you a funny story. A friend of mine broke up from a long-term girlfriend once, and hadn't been with anyone else for a while. Was nervous, so we took him out, and we're like, you know what, man? Like, if you want to move on, like tonight's the night. It's all about you, and we'll find you a nice girl, and we'll just like go from there. And so maybe like an hour in, he's getting pretty drunk, and he finds a nice young girl, and he's like, I think I'm going to go. And we're like, yes, buddy. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. And he turns up at the house at like 6:30, 7 o'clock, like real early. And we, you know when you're hungover, you're trading stories when you're young. And so it turns out that our friend had drunk a little bit too much and not been able to quite perform. Couldn't stand to attention, if you will. And,
has it not happened to us all at some point after a few too many drinks at the end of a night? 100% or a little
it does.
Bit
You're not alone, man. It happens. And he's freaking out. He's like, oh, man, like first person I've been with since my long-term girlfriend. Freaking out, getting nervous. And it's becoming like a thing for him. And, starts to get undressed and move forward. And he's like, oh, fuck, like I'm just getting worse. Like she's going to know. And then like she's trying and she calls him her ex's name.
Oh, shit.
And he chooses this as the perfect moment to pretend to get really annoyed and grab his trousers and pull them up and put his jacket back on. And like, that's it. If this is who you're going to call me, I have to leave.
Use that as the excuse. He walks out the door and like wipes the sweat off his brow. It's like, whew.
And he was
close.
And he must have done a really good job, because when he was telling the story in the morning, she had messaged him. And at the end of the story, he was like, yeah, so I'm seeing her tonight instead.
You always need the redo. Like, this is going to sound terrible, but the amount of times I've gone home with someone And it's like, it just hasn't happened because it's just like the end of the
Because you go out for a good time, right? Like you're not like, you're like, maybe I had a too good time.
Look, if that happens, like I need to go back to redeem myself. Sometimes I don't want to.
But you have to do the right thing.
That's terrible. That's I don't know why I shared that.
But it goes back to what you're saying. Show someone a good time. Try it and have respect. Like if you...
That's a true thing. Like, the stories you hear, like I feel like if you listen, like girls will tell you a lot.
Yeah.
And there's like a lot of guys out there not trying very hard.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's just, I think, that's a topic for a whole nother thing, relationships and porn and everything else. That could be a future episode.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. You got any more examples? Please tell me you do. Oh, have you got a good one?
All right, this is an ex-girlfriend.
Of yours?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it one of your names?
She put that in there as well. I'm not going to repeat it.
Okay, fine.
Actually, there's a story about that too.
Okay.
I'll tell you a story about that after this.
Yeah, once we start recording.
This one, she calls... I'll say it when we are recording.
Yeah,
whatever. Fine. She calls this one Angry Naked Man. She describes it in pretty short form here.
Yep.
It's angry naked man. Got naked. Got angry because I wouldn't sleep with him. Left naked.
Dude, that's weird, man. These poor fucking women.
Imagine that, just being so pissed off that you're not like getting your end in, that you just walk back out of the house about your clothes.
With nothing but your socks on. Just leave it.
I'm not hanging around for this.
What about if we got an Uber?
I hope he wore his mask.
Just socks and a mask and gets in his... I'm going home.
This girl... Oh, no. Oh. No, this girl decided to drop this nickname on me. I had her on speakerphone.
Oh, this is your name or...
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to say what it is.
Yeah, okay, cool. All right.
But, dude, I was in bed with my girlfriend at the time on speaker, and it was her birthday morning.
Yeah.
The night before, we'd been out for drinks. It was the first time I met her friend.
Yeah.
And a girl I used to see was sort of following me around a little bit and buying me drinks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we were just in the same... This is Mandurah.
Yeah. Just nothing flirtative, just friendly, like...
Oh, I think she was pretty drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
Okay.
She'll probably listen to this too. Fuck.
There's no names. We're not hurting anybody.
No, not hurting anybody. Anyway, just to top it off, so that was the first time I met this girlfriend's friends.
Yep.
And they were getting a little bit pissed off with this chick. And then the next morning, we're in bed having breakfast. And like, me and this ex-girlfriend are still very friendly. We still chat. And she rang me up on a weekend sometimes and just like tell me about like her weekend or like some crazy shit that happened to her. Like, she's pretty wild too. Like she's, but yeah, I've got her on speakerphone. It's like my current, like the girlfriend I was with at the time was with me, and I sort of said, she's here. I don't think the ex-girlfriend realised that she was a bit more of a serious girlfriend and not just like a hookup kind of thing.
Okay, yep.
And she said something along the lines like, I'm not going to say what I was going to say, Matt doing. She's like, oh, fuck it. You've got... and my nickname.
Oh, right.
And this is like this poor girl's birthday. We're in bed. After
so
like,
it was a
what was not a
sabotage.
great night the night before, because this other girl was kind of hanging around a bit and like kind of pissing off the friends of the girl I was with.
So just a nightmare of a morning.
It was... But
don't you like... Isn't part of you that didn't... Well, I just wanted to screen that call and be like, that's...
I'm so open and honest with people,
true.
though. That's just who I am as a person. Like, my, like, girls I see, like look at my birthdays.
Yep.
Like, I'll literally invite everyone. I'll say, it's like, all right, don't get jealous. There's going to be other girls there that I'm seeing as well. nobody's coming home with me tonight. And that way nobody gets hurt.
It's just for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're away from my birthday.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, you're back at work on the 26th, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. By the weekend after is the weekend before my birthday, so I'm going to partake in some festivities. And someone is attending a festival on the weekend before my birthday.
Wait, when's your birthday?
October 3rd.
Which festival are you going to? I'm going to a festival that weekend too. Oh no, I'm going to Blossom Festival in Boddington.
Blossom Festival. That sounds like a hippie festival.
It's a hippie festival.
Yeah.
And I think it's a mix. I've never been. I've got a lot of friends that go.
Give it a go.
I say all my woo-woo friends go there.
The woo-woos.
It's my new friends that are kind of the Blazing Swans.
What a great name for a band, the woo-woos.
The woo-woos. If only we had a shred of talent.
Right? I can rap.
How are you going to rhyme with Mercury retrograde? Great.
That's very true. If I had some time, I could do it.
Something about Gatorade.
Gatorade. Matt, we're at 50 minutes, my dude. Shall we dial this back?
Cut it off before I talk more shit.
Yeah. I was like, because I want another beer, and I'm like, when that happens, loose lips sink ships, and yeah.
These are the best episodes, though.
This is true. Anyway, thanks all for tuning in. We gave you the warning, we're getting crude, so.
Thank you for not dropping any illegal drug use references into this one.
That's a very good point, Matt. That's a bad thing to do on a podcast. If you made it this far, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
See ya.